completely disappear once the resin is fully cured. Take out your UV lamp and plug it in. Using a little suction cup lube on the lamp's feet, place the lamp directly over the repaired area and turn it on by depressing the red button for 2 seconds. Let it cure for about 3 minutes. Now we're ready to remove the lamp. Remove it by rocking it to the side, not pulling it straight off. Gently lift off a corner of the pit tape and peel it off. Then take a safety razor blade and scrape off the excess resin around the pit area, being careful not to scrape over the actual pit area. It is important to leave about a 1/4 inch square excess around the actual pit. Now hold the razor blade perpendicular to the glass and shave the remaining hardened resin off with a back and forth motion until it seems flush with the windshield. Next, take out your polishing wheel and insert it into your drill. Plug your drill in and place a few drops of pit polish right over the repair area. Hold your wheel flat against the glass and polish for 5 to 10 seconds. Leave the polish on the area and using a paper towel and your index finger, rub it vigorously for 10 seconds or until the pit is clear. Remove the polish and clean the windshield. The pit area should be clear and glossy. Now we're going to do a break with a long crack. First, you want to drill the end of the crack. Drill your hole just beyond the end of the crack, about 1/16 of an inch. Drill all the way to the vinyl, but take your time, being careful not to apply too much pressure. Watch closely, and you can see when the drill enters the vinyl. Our drilling is now finished, but you will want to take your probe and flex the glass until the crack runs into the hole. Take a piece of black electrical tape and cover the stone-damaged area so no UV rays can enter. Next, go inside the vehicle and place a crack jack about 1 inch away from the drilled hole. Then 1 every 3 inches down the length of the crack. Additional crack jacks for long crack repair can be obtained from Glass Technology. Tighten the crack jack until the rubber button touches the glass directly over the crack. Then tighten the crack jack several turns. Now cut a piece of pit tape the length of the crack. Introduce the diamond clear crack resin at the drill hole and notice if it begins to flow into the crack. If the resin doesn't flow freely, you may have to adjust the position or tightness of your crack jack. As the resin begins to flow into the crack, make sure you stay behind that flow with your resin bottle. If you don't, you will trap air pockets in the crack. Now take your tape and begin to lay it down behind you. Just keep adding resin as the flow will allow and lay the tape down behind. Notice how the specially designed low viscosity diamond clear crack resin easily moves up the crack. Be careful not to rest your hand on the glass, as this might flex the crack and let air in. Be patient. The crack is now filled, and we're ready to cure the resin. If you're doing this outside, just let the sunlight cure the crack. If you're inside, as we are, you must use the UV curing lamp. You have to hold the lamp close to the glass, but don't attach the lamp to the glass, as this would flex it and allow air into the crack. Cure the crack in 3-inch sections for 2 to 3 minutes for each section. Additional UV lamps and special long crack lamps are available from Glass Technology. Let's withdraw the lamp now, as it appears we're done. Peel your pit tape off and start to scrape off the hardened resin over the crack. It is not necessary to polish the crack as with a stone break. Notice that the crack is undetectable. Remove the crack jacks. Once the crack is repaired, fill the drill holes at each end with pit filler and cure. Then, proceed with repairing the stone-damaged area in the regular manner. One word of caution: if a crack is contaminated with dirt, it will not clear up as well as a clean crack. Refer to your training manual for ways to evaluate and test for dirt in a crack. Now we're going to briefly review some of the helpful hints we've already discussed. First, there's flexing of glass. This can help both to remove trapped air and also help the resin to penetrate tighter cracks. Using the blunt end of your carbide probe, press right on top of the cracks as they come out from underneath the injector. Apply and maintain a constant pressure on the crack until the resin flows into the very tip of the crack. It's extremely important that you position yourself properly to see this resin filling the cracks. You must be looking at the cracks at a perpendicular angle, not directly over the cracks. Notice when you press down again, the crack becomes visible again and resin flows into the crack. Hold that same pressure until the crack fills completely. Move on to the next crack as needed. Next, there's curing under pressure. Expose the repair area to UV light while you're still under pressure. This technique is used to reduce the size of any air pocket that just can't be vacuumed out. The pressure compresses the air to a smaller size while you harden the resin around it. You'll want to cure for about 1.5 minutes on each side of the injector. Another useful tip in removing trapped air is alternating vacuum and pressure. The pressure helps move the air around to different locations in the break, and then the vacuum removes it. You don't have to drill all breaks, and there's a simple test you can use to determine if you need to drill. Introduce just a small drop of resin into the pit area and observe very carefully to see if the resin begins penetrating or being accepted into the break. This will be obvious as the repair will start to clear up. If clearing does not occur, that would mean that you would have to drill the break. This bullseye break does not have to be drilled, while this break should be. If your drill stops and sticks while drilling, simply rotate the drill chuck with your fingers until it's loose, then resume drilling. That covers most of the basics for performing professional windshield repairs. Now go out and practice until you're confident in your ability to service the customer. And don't forget to use only diamond clear windshield resins. They really do make a difference. These